So this is day 2 on legendary difficulty of Second Bull Run. So the first thing I'm going to do is move the ammo around. I get a free resupply at the end of the battle. But I only have 2 supply wagons and I need to make use of those. So I'm moving everyone forward. Except the units that are kind of tired, and I'm also keeping Harper's Ferry 1 pretty much out of the early exchanges. See, I have 2 units that are in the back just resting, getting their condition back. But I have to run these guys, and this is why I needed the speed perk, because there are going to be a lot of times in this battle I'm going to need to get somewhere in a hurry. And I had to get into these woods before the enemy got into the woods, or this was going to fail. Okay, these guys here are a little bit, they can be a little bit difficult, because these guys are really, it's really like herding cats. And I would kind of like to split them up. I think there are 3 infantry here. I'd like to split them up. I'd like to drive a couple of them to the left into the corner, and then the other one kind of to the right, if at all possible, into the river. But and here I just need to get my guys into good cover. So I'm checking on the cover. I'm not in the... I think there's a place that has better cover. I don't seem to find it. And I'm checking on the condition of my 2 units to the rear, and yeah, they've recovered some, and that guy still terrible. So yeah, everybody who can is advancing and fighting, and then the units that need to recover are just resting. Yeah, the 2 sniper units are on the flank of these guys just to get them to rout. And I want to drive them into the corner and just continuously morale shock them. And at this point, I'm not thinking in terms of melee. I'm thinking in terms of harvesting or of grinding efficiency in firearms, which means more shooting than melee. Which is why I have the marksmanship perk and not the melee perk also. That's another reason why I did that. So I think the perks that I choose, what I've noticed is they're specific to the battle. So if I want to grind efficiency and marksmanship or firearms, then I'll take the marksmanship perk, and if I just want to grind firearms, I'll take the perk that has my units shoot faster. But the other thing is, it depends on how big the map is and how much distance I want to cover, and how, if it's a set piece battle, then the morale perk would always be the better perk because it gives you +5 efficiency with the UI mod. So, but if you need to get somewhere in a hurry, or you have to cover a lot of territory, like in this map, have to do both, then the stamina perk is clearly better. So anyway, that's kind of what I've come up with for now. So I had these units run a little bit to get into position. They're fine. These guys are fine. The 2 snipers on the flank are going to make these guys rout. Everyone's doing well. So one of the things that you have to be very careful of, and I check this continuously, is anybody being blocked. So I'm putting my units kind of close together or even on top of each other, overlapping. And it's really easy to block a unit's line of sight, and then it'll just stand there and take losses but not fire. That's a disaster. So one of the things I'm doing is continuously checking that everyone can fire and everyone has a target. So yeah, this is first corps. First corps is 24 units. 22 of them are infantry and 2 snipers. Yeah, and I just saw the guy. There's a guy right there near my snipers, and I'm having them turn to fire. Don't want them to take a volley from that guy. Want them instead to get that unit to rout, that enemy unit. Yeah, everything's going very well. Now these units in the rear who've been resting, they're recovered enough they can move forward. And I really don't want Harper's Ferry 1 in this battle. I never want Harper's Ferry 1 to be squaring off face to face against enemy units. I want him to come up and fire where the enemy units have been weakened, and then he steps up and delivers the death blow. He's too valuable to just have him stand toe-to-toe with the enemy. So I'm thinking about these 3-star units as like the old guard. And I'm probably going to start naming them also. So I have 4 3-star units. It seems like they should have a name. So I'm advancing with detached skirmishers to find the enemy. In the center, these units are already pretty much beaten. They're already white or flashing white. These units are still not broken at all. A lot of 3-star units. And I think they have mostly Harper's Ferries. Three-star, 2,900 Harper's Ferries. And I have a unit of 2,500 with Palmettos and 1-star moving up to fight him. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm taking a moment to micromanage all of my units and get them firing exactly where I want them to. This is kind of the crucial part of the battle. If we can break these guys, drive them into the corner, well, initially not into the corner, just back. But they do have a tendency to route north into that corner. This guy, I think, is about to rout, and these guys in the center, they're not about to rout. This is going to be a stand-up fight for a little while. These guys down here, they're all routing, and now the question is, how do I get the 2 units to stop moving to the right and get them to move to the left? The one guy on the right is probably going to move to the right, and I'd like to catch him in the river if possible. So I had my snipers get a little bit out of the way while the enemy was moving forward. Now they can move forward and do good work. These guys, need to not push too hard to the right. This is like herding cats, and this is one of the things you have to get kind of good at in Ultimate General. Yeah, that unit right there wants to go to the right. I'm trying to convince him to stay where he is and stop drifting right, but I really need to stop the other units from going right, so I need to give them an opening. So I moved into the woods to get good shots on the enemy, but now I need to get out of the woods so the enemy sees an opening and will go to the left. Yeah, he's that guy on the right. My left flank, the enemy's falling apart. Down here, the enemy's falling apart. I was actually trying to stay out of melee, but nah, he's retreating so fast we're in melee. Yeah, all this is going really well. So these bunch of units, they're morale shocked. I need to just have everybody move forward and keep shooting at them. Keep them morale shocked, and we should be able to bag the lot of them pretty easily. And now is when I want Harper's Ferry 1 to come into the battle. Because he's really good at this. Well, so is Harper's Ferry 2, but I've lost track of where Harper's Ferry 2 is. Okay, I wish we weren't in the woods getting this melee, but we are. And the enemy seems to be getting the worst of it. So I would like to drive the second unit back to the left, which is why I've been moving everybody from left to right and also creating a big opening for the enemy. I want these other two units to go to the left. So there's an artillery, so I detach skirmishers because I always have detached skirmishers approach artillery. If that artillery wasn't there, I wouldn't be using detached skirmishers. I would just have everybody run forward. So this has been pretty much a stand-up fight in the open, in that center area. That's okay. We're going to take a few extra losses there, but their job is really just kind of to hold those guys in place while everybody else is destroyed and drive them back. Two batches of enemy units are going to come in at that location, and we kind of just need to hold the line there, even if we take some losses. Yeah, Harper's Ferry 1 and 4 will be really valuable in about a minute. Repositioning one of my snipers to get on the other side. These guys here in this clump, they're pretty much busted, and now the challenge is to keep them from, I don't want them to route to south. So we have driven back the two infantry units on my right flank, so that's good. We've separated them out. Those two are going to be easy pickings now. We've isolated a single unit. I wish I had my melee cav with me. That would be perfect for melee cav. An isolated enemy infantry that's routing. That would be ideal. The Palmetto is doing a number on this guy. The 3-star infantry with Harper's Ferries. And Yeah, the battle in the center on that hilltop is okay, but a little costly. The one thing I don't like is he has two artillery there that are just, doing really way too much damage to my army. And I'm in canister range, so that's not good. I'm talking in the center. The artillery here on my left flank, they're dead. Yeah, his cav is stuck in the water. We should be able to kill him. We're on the flank of his one unit. He's flashing white, and when that unit falls, the other two and the artillery are doomed. And the cav is already doomed because he's stuck in the water. So their position, it was a little costly, but that position is pretty crushed at this point. And I'm hitting pause frequently to make sure that these enemy units retreat in the direction I need them to retreat more than anything else. And to make sure that my units all have shots, because now that units are moving around, it's real easy for them to block each other. And I'm thinking about moving my detached skirmishers to the south, because the enemy then will calculate there's a lot of infantry there and then move to the north. So about 80% of what I'm doing right now is just getting the enemy to retreat in the direction I want him to. There I just popped a detached skirmisher to fire extra volleys into the flank of the unit to make him rout. Okay, now we have these two infantry and the artillery. Now I need these guys. I move them into the woods on the left there, left part of the map, move them out of the woods so the enemy would retreat. Now I need to move them back into the woods. It would have been ideal if I could have stayed in the woods and just fired volleys out of there and kept him out of the woods. But now that it doesn't, the game doesn't work that way. If I had stayed in the woods, he would have just kept routing to the right. And that would have been very bad. Yeah, those guys should retreat all the way to... Well, no. Actually, they'll recover before they get to the corner. Because this is legendary. So we'll have to make them rout again. So I'm paying very close attention to condition because this is just the opening phase and it's not even 9 o'clock. We have to do this to... I think it's 60,000 he brings in today. So we have to do this quite a bit. And you'll see we have to do this a couple times. So units have to fight and rest. I'm trying to stay out of melee, not just to keep my units rested, but because melee is exhausting for units. But also, again, I'm trying to stay out of melee to maximize the amount of kills that we get with rifles. So it's a combination of both condition and also the skill that I want to level up. Now you're going to notice that I'm going to keep enemy supply wagons. I only have 2 supply wagons. And the worst thing that can happen to your army is to run out of supply. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding on to the supply wagons. I'm turning them off, but I'm holding on to the captured enemy wagons in case I need them. And if I don't need them, that's great. But if I do, I'll use them to keep my infantry not topped up, but firing at max speed. Firing at 1/3 speed is just a disaster. Over here, I fell back. I want the enemy to advance into the water, where I will shoot him again, and he's going to cooperate. He's going to advance into the water. Yeah, I was really afraid these guys were going to try to retreat south. Well, they are trying to retreat south. So once again, I have to open up an open area to the north for these guys so that they'll turn around and go back to the north. Yeah, I'm going to have that Palmetto slam the door shut to the south. And notice I have the 2 guys to the north just get out of there. When the enemy takes a look at that open space I'm thinking he's going to turn around and run back north. And he does. I need him to not move south. So we only need 3 infantry, can finish off these 2 infantry easily. I want to put, I have 1 infantry on that guy that's at the river. I'm going to have a 2nd infantry join him on the other side, and then we'll have him in a crossfire. And his cav is gone. So fortunately, it looks like he's moving back to the north. As I was doing this, I was thinking I should put my Harper's Ferry unit on the far edge of the map and wait for the enemy to just retreat to the north. And I didn't do that. Now the enemy is retreating to the north, and I'm thinking, I wish I had done that. That would have worked out really well. So yeah, he's going to keep retreating now to the north as long as I don't close that escape route for him, and that's good. I'll keep these. I want to keep these units, these encirclements separated so they can't help each other. So I have basically 3 different pockets. The one in the north, the one in the center, the lone unit by the river, and then the guys on the left corner, in the south left corner of the map. And by doing it that way, they should be easier to wipe out by having them into small chunks. Yeah, all of these units seem to be good in the center, not beaten up that badly. Yeah, once we get the woods, we'll be in good shape. How is that guy counterattacking? He's been beaten to death. Yeah, look at this. This is a corridor of death. His units are just being shot to pieces as they move. These guys are surrounded in the water, and I need to create a space for that guy so he advances back into the water, into the river. Would very much like this guy to fall back and make this much easier. Get him out of the woods. Yeah, Harper's Ferry 1 has not fired a shot yet on day 2. He's just kind of Leisurely walked around the battlefield enjoying the view. Yeah, this guy wants to get into melee. I'd be happy to do that if we were in the open, but not in the woods. I mean, he's not going to last a second in melee, the enemy. He's going to rout, but I'd rather hit him in the open. Yeah, the detached skirmishers on his flank going to make him rout. Yeah, I was afraid that infantry unit in the south was going to just keep going to the right. Fortunately, he turned around. Yeah, I don't have to push the guys in the center until I get them surrounded, and a couple of units are coming up. And when that pocket gets surrounded by the two infantry that are coming up on their south, um, they're just going to be broken and easily destroyed. So my plan in the north is that it's kind of a glitchy area in the north. The enemy can retreat past the edge of the map and you can't see them. But I'm going to put a couple good units there and just blast into the pocket. And yeah, we're going to call it good. And it's only 9:20. And Harper's Ferry 1 is finally up. And that's what I want. I wanted him to miss all of the intense fighting, and he did. Now he's just going to harvest a bunch of kills. That's his job. That's the job of the old guard, to walk in at the end of the battle and deliver just the crushing blow. Okay, we have this guy in the corner. It's a good corner to trap them in. Snipers are just harvesting kills. No reason to be in a hurry. Try not to kill the supply wagon. Yeah, everyone's moving nicely into place. Don't need to push the attack there where I am right now until this unit in the far south gets up and is delivering flanking fire. Okay, this guy's finally caught in the water, which is where I want him. Oh, I think this guy's caught in one of those water glitches. So yeah, just free XP. I have a supply wagon there in case they run out of ammo. The supply wagon for the Corps is nowhere near these guys. Yeah, and everybody seems to be flashing white. I'm just adjusting the line to get the most effective volleys into the enemy, and yeah, and then we're pretty much done. Oh, that's nice. That 3 units just firing into that broken unit. He wanted to give me a supply wagon. That was generous. I just need to make sure everybody has a shot. If you put a unit on hold and then have them target a unit, if the hold symbol goes off, then they can't make the shot. They're too far away. So what it's telling you is the game is going to take the unit off hold and move him forward. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm putting my unit on hold, I'm targeting the unit I want to hit, and I'm seeing if the game takes my unit off of hold. So if I can't make the shot from where I am, like this unit can't, then I can either get him out of there or I can have him get closer to the enemy so he gets a shot. And you do have like undulating terrain, so one unit can have a shot and the unit right next to it has no shot at all. It's good to know that. So try to get everybody into a position where they can shoot. Like right now, all 3 of these guys are shooting. Over here, yeah, that guy's pretty beaten up now. Yeah, and my unit here came up to the south, which made that guy rout. He's pretty much going to put rear and flanking fire into everybody in that pocket, and they're going to be doomed. Infantry fire from multiple directions just makes these guys turn, makes these guys just uh, either dissolve or surrender. So here I had to move everybody up because when I targeted enemy units, I saw the little arrow symbol was broken. My guys couldn't fire. They were too far away. So a big part of what I'm doing is, can everybody fire? Is anybody blocked? Is everybody within range? And keeping everybody firing is micromanagement intensive. Like right now, I could see Harper's Ferry 1 is too far away. So this is kind of the glitchy thing I was telling you. There's water, it's the edge of the map, and so the enemy's actually falling back like off screen, but he's still there. So we can melee that guy. He's in the open. I'm going to turn a couple of my units sideways to get into melee without charging. I don't really want to charge him because that's exhausting for my units, and I don't need to. I just need to get, if I get 2-on-1 without charging, I guess I could have just had them walk forward. That would have done the same thing. Any shatters. Okay, so we're going to go move forward and kill this last guy. Yeah, I'm just trying to get everybody to shoot. So this guy surrenders. He couldn't take it anymore. We had him in the open, and yeah, my detached skirmisher did a very good job. This guy is now going to be trapped and completely destroyed by these units. They're doing well. And this group in the center is going to be destroyed handily. Yeah, one of my units had almost 1,000 kills and 10 losses. Yeah, I'd like to do that every day. Yeah, we're going to kill his 2 artillery. Should kill them fairly quickly. And the artillery's, the snipers are just grinding kills. Yeah, this guy now in the south, on the left corner of the map, he's dead. He's not going to recover. We're going to just shoot him to death. Yeah, and all the guys in the pocket are doomed. So yeah, all of these guys are dead. Surrounded, cornered, dead. I have a couple units that need to recover some condition. If you want to cancel orders, you just hit hold and then turn off hold and then hit hold again, which for me that's spacebar. And the units will just target things automatically. It gets a little glitchy though when units are flashing white. It's like they just don't want to target flashing white units. They want to target completely healthy units for whatever reason. Okay, and this guy is for some reason retreating in the wrong direction, so that's okay. We can do that. If all of them retreat to the north, I have units up there that can handle them now. But this guy doesn't make it, so he surrenders right away. I think they're all pretty much on the edge of surrendering. Okay, I'm getting the highlight that someone is trying to, that units are surrendering in this pocket. But it's not even 10 o'clock, and there's a lot of battle left. So maybe getting into melee with all these guys is not that good an idea. Okay, that guy surrenders. He was just shot to pieces. That's fine. I need to kill his commander so his units stop recovering. I'm taking 2 of my lower level infantry to have them pull some guys out into melee. That's a bad idea. Because of how they're all stacked up in the corner, that's not going to work. So don't try that at home. Okay, that guy surrendered. I actually had a couple guys charge on him. Had these guys charge. Let's get the supplies out of there. I'm going to have my snipers fire into the melee. That is collateral damage, but might convince them to surrender. Yeah, I wish I hadn't done this. This is going to be a disaster. Because you can't really see how many people are in there. Okay, another supply wagon. That's good. And these 2 units it's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, my infantry is now tired. I want to kill the commander. He's dead. Yeah, now these guys are now in melee. Barney surrendered. But yeah, it's just too big a mess. My units shouldn't be in there. Okay, they surrendered. But I think that was not a good idea. So we need to finish this up before the next batch of units come in. And my army in the center, unfortunately, is a little tired. So a bunch of units are going to come in. Center, and yeah, and the time just jumped. I mean, I think I killed everybody, and so the time jumped to 1500. Maybe I should have allowed 1 unit to live so that I could get everybody in position faster, because, now we start the next phase, and here's an army right on top of me. So, yeah, that's not good. I should have allowed 1 unit to survive. because I had 30 more minutes in that phase, and I could have used that 30 minutes. But hey, that's Ultimate General, you know, weird timers and things. Okay, my units are pretty much where I want them to be. I could have used 30 minutes of recovery time for my tired units. But I think the force there is adequate. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, and his attack came in on the south, and I think, you know, I'm expecting several units, but all I see is one. The guy who survived day one, and I have several units down there to deal with a division, and it's only a single unit. Yeah, I should have, and now I see that, oh, I should have left the door open for that guy to move north, because I have lots of infantry in the north, and if all these guys retreat to the north, they'll be easily picked apart. Yeah, we have 3 on 1 here. He's doomed. Would like to kill his commander. That will make things much easier. Yeah, I should have driven that one infantry unit south instead of north. Okay, now he has more coming in than I thought he would. That's a pretty big force. But keep in mind, we're supposed to face almost 70,000 on this day. So I guess that's where the 70,000 are. Yep, make sure everybody has line of sight, everybody has a target. Get the commander down to give +10 cover. Yeah, and you'll notice I have everybody to the north. I got them in line to face the enemy. I had to move a unit south to block this guy. I'd rather get him into melee than have him retreat to the north and join this pile of fresh units. So my snipers don't have anything to do, so they're moving south in case more units come in there. Yeah, now he's walking the corridor of death. Come on, kill the commander. You have to target the commander. Okay, that guy surrendered. Good. He was taking fire from all directions. Now, I don't know where the last group comes in. I'm not sure. It's somewhere over there on that edge of the map. And the reason I still don't know where they come in is because nobody comes onto the map. On day 2, over there. I don't know why that is. Yeah, and here my units are targeting the wrong unit, which they do if I target a unit and that unit retreats north, my units in the south will keep targeting the unit that is, you know, a mile away and not fire. So have to make sure everybody's firing at someone, doing damage, and not targeting someone on the other side of the world. Yeah, and I should put these infantry on hold or they'll bounce around, target someone, and chase after them. I mean, yeah, continuous micromanagement. Yeah, I'd rather just stay out of melee and harvest XP. Yeah, my snipers are having a good time driving anybody who wants to stand and fight further north. And these guys are back in the upper north corner. I'll just have detached skirmishers in here. Some units are bouncing around again. Yeah, I should have put that guy on hold. So I finally put these guys on hold so they stop that nonsense. So detach skirmishers to get these guys to rout, mainly because there's an artillery there. I don't want to take... You never want your infantry to take artillery to the face. That's bad. So, yeah, Harper's Ferry 1 already has 3,500 kills. That's crazy. And he's just standing there blasting away, putting volleys into units that just walk past him. Yeah, I had the 42 just charge into there and get the supply wagons and kill the artillery. Tired of fiddling with him. I also want, I have Jackson and Longstreet in a unit to grind up their command bar. One of them, I think it's Longstreet, one of them almost has his 3rd star at the end of this. So, yeah, I want him to get into melee. I want him to get, just enormous number of kills. So one of them will need one more battle and easily get their 3rd star, and then we'll start working on the other general. I think Longstreet, I can't remember, but I think it's Longstreet is the one that has the bigger command bar. So he'll get his 3rd star, and then we'll keep working on Jackson, and he'll get his 3rd star. And we'll get Lee fairly soon. I forget when we get Lee, but we'll get Lee. And so General Compass and Albert Sidney Johnson, General Lee, Jackson, Longstreet will have 5 3-star generals for our corps. But I find that putting a 3-star general in a unit that's just short of getting its 3rd star is very handy. And really, these 3-star infantry units really should have a 3-star general. Oh, somebody surrendered, so that's good. And the other guy surrendered. So we had the first batch that we destroyed in the north, and then the guys came in the center, and we drove them north, and now we're going to destroy them in the same place. So this is the second batch to die here, but this batch actually started further south. So at this point, I'm expecting the guys, the enemy to come in to the south, in the south left corner on the left edge of the board. He's supposed to come in at 1630, I think. So I'm looking for him and hoping he comes in, because if I kill, let's say, I don't know how many it's supposed to be, 10 or 15,000, that means the number of enemy troops that I see the next day should be lower by 10 or 15,000. That's my thought. They don't show up. I mean, if you know where they're supposed to come in and when, then please let me know, because I don't know. Now here I'm doing this thing again with this guy. This is a big mistake. This guy just gets pounded because these enemy units are still fresh. Yep, flanked. Yeah, I just lost almost 300 men for zero purpose right there. So we're just going to shoot these guys to death. But Okay, so I played the game up to this point. I end up charging those guys with my entire force in a little bit and capturing all the units in there. And the battle times out. It's 16:30 and the game times out. And I go to camp. Obviously, I don't want to do that. Some of my units are tired. I want them to recover condition. You get to 1900, I think, so 2.5 hours, and I want the units to come in on my flank. So because I want the units to come in on my flank, and I want my tired units to recover, this is what I do. The next day, I reload, and I do this. So when I first fought the battle, like I said, I got 31,000 captures, and I don't get quite as many captures because instead of capturing all these guys here in the corner, this is one thing. I don't get as many captures, but all these guys get captured. What happened was I just charged into the corner with everybody after firing for a short while. They started to surrender, so I charged and I got, 3 or 4 units are in there and they all surrendered. So that's 4,000. So the difference in the 2 days is 3,000. I see 3 units right now. I thought there were 4. I think there are 4 units. Pretty sure there are 4. So my goal is just to buy time. Keep these guys alive, try not to kill them, and buy time. But by doing that, I shoot them down to nothing, and then they all shatter. I don't think... I might get one of them to surrender, but most of them just shatter because I just shoot them to pieces. So anyway, that's what you're going to see. Just going to take my time and shoot the heck out of these guys. And of course, it's glitchy in the corner with targeting. For some reason, all my units want to target the unit that's in the rear. I knew there were 4 of these guys. That's the whole thing in this corner. You can't tell how many units are there. No, I want you to fire at the guy in front of you, not the guy all the way in the back. Yeah, and that's because glitchy game corner. So 4 units. We're going to pick on these 4 guys. Convince him to retreat. And I decided to have my snipers shoot at the largest units. Yeah, no, I don't need to shoot it. I don't want him to shatter. We're trying to keep these guys alive. Everybody shoot at the person who's in front of you, please. And it's 1650. I'm wondering where is the enemy? I'm looking for him. Someone tell me where the enemy is supposed to come in and how many, because I have no clue right now. And I have my whole army kind of walking down there to fight, checking their condition. And there's nothing to fight. Nothing ever shows up. Like I said, the difference between the 2 days is 3,000 captures. I think I kill 500 more in the second playthrough, but lost 3,000 captures. My losses are a little lighter, and I do a better... Well, in the first playthrough, there were about 1,000 that got away. In the second playthrough, I get them all. Nobody escapes. Yeah, every time I fire at these guys, I'm thinking, please don't shatter, please don't shatter, please don't shatter. Because I'm trying to, I really think there's going to be a division or two divisions of enemy come in, and I really, really want to kill them here, so I don't have to face them on day 3. Because I'm figuring it's got to be like at least 10,000, which would make the game easier. Now, I did mention that by doing this, the enemy, for some reason, I still kill all these guys. The enemy has 10,000 more men on day 3 than he did the first time. So same result, except in this corner I capture all the guys instead of shoot them to pieces like I'm doing now. But the enemy, instead of having 30,000, has over 40,000 on day 3. That's just more to kill, so okay. But I would have liked to, ideally, I would have liked to have killed 20,000 on the corner of the map if they'd come in as reinforcements. Yeah, we have till 1930, so we can do this for 2 more hours. Yeah, I'm starting to think they're not going to show up, so I should have had my units that were just doing nothing walk in circles, I guess. But at this point I'm thinking, what am I missing? I mean, where are these guys? They should have been here an hour ago. So yeah, I'm going to resupply my sniper unit before the next day. Maybe have some of my infantry walk in circles. Yeah, please leave a comment. Where are these guys supposed to show up? Because I'm looking all, as you can tell, I'm looking everywhere for these guys and I don't see them. So am I in the wrong place? Okay, my corps shows up right on schedule, and there's nothing for them to do. Yeah, I'm finally starting to get the idea that it's not going to happen. But I'd still like these guys to have 100 condition for the beginning of day 3. Please don't shatter, please don't shatter, please don't shatter. Good. They're getting kind of tiny. Yeah, you'll notice what happened there is I had my units target a unit, and it was outside their range, so they immediately ran forward. Not exactly what I wanted them to do. Yeah, these guys are getting a little tiny, so I'm a little afraid these guys are going to shatter. Please don't shatter. Please don't shatter. Only 1800. I'm having some of these guys walk in circles. Yeah, and the blue bar hasn't gotten any larger, so that tells me the reinforcements that were supposed to arrive at the end of day 2 just did not show up. I'm trying to keep this little 400-man unit alive, but it's pretty pointless. Yeah, this is over. Um, there's no point in. This is just not going to cooperate. So I decide maybe I should try to get some captures. Go ahead and put an end to this. It's 1810. Yeah, one of his units just shattered. My commander should be a little closer. Turn these guys off fire. Just get them into melee. They'll grind some melee. That'll be fine. It looks like his units are running away. His units are running away. It's hilarious. Yeah, shatter, shatter. Yeah, stop firing, you guys. Yep, and we got to capture 800. So the first time I did it, I got about 4,000 captured, and this time I got 800. So that could be, that account for some of the difference. I have 59.8. He's going to have 42,000. So that's weird. Like I said, the first time I did it, I captured all the guys in the corner. He only had 30,000. All I did was replay it, shoot them up, and he has 42,000. So if anyone knows why that happens, I'd love to hear the explanation. Thank you for watching. I'll see you for day 3.